Should media producers aim to reach a broad audience with general content, or a narrow audience with targeted content? And who actually gets to be a producer?
In the world of public access television, anyone can step up and produce their own content, including me. This is the story of the intrepid volunteers narrowcasting their voices to a local audience, which may or may not be listening. Public access traces its roots to several developments of the late 1960s,
when academics began to advocate using evolving TV technology to educate and to give airtime to new voices.
People in Boston and Pittsburgh and Chicago all came to the fore and said, we've got to have more of this neighborhood expression of care.
Before then, there had only been 3 networks, all corporately owned. But these advocates saw the potential for more people in more places to become involved in television production. TV could be a democratizing force, an equalizer.
The original reason for public access was to allow the everyday person to get their voices heard.
Welcome to Teen Say, where teens can have their say and adults can see where they're coming from.
In the earliest days of cable TV, providers were considered a common carrier by the FCC, similar to telephone companies. Because they ran cable through public land, the FCC reasoned, cable companies must operate facilities for the local production and presentation of programs.
And by the end of the 1970s, hundreds of public access stations were already operating nationwide.
I started in 1988 when Fairfax Public Access used studios at Northern Virginia Community College, and my first special was Sully Plantation Antique Car Show.
I'm your host, Dwayne Perrin, and I like old cars. Join me as I show you some of the cars on display and talk to some of their owners.
As a producer, you need to know something about editing and camera, and really most everything so you can work with the people and get the best product out.
And in April of 2013, I began putting out a product of my own.
Ah, welcome, foolish mortals, to Count Gauntlet's Horrors from the Public Domain.
Growing up in the late 90s, I had been fascinated by weekly broadcasts of vintage horror movies on Northern Virginia Community College's PBS station. These films instilled in me a love for the strange, the horrifying, and the poorly and cheaply produced. Many of these movies had entered the public domain, allowing me to share them with a new crop of unsuspecting viewers. Torgo, huh? Well. Like public access, the public domain is a valuable resource for producers to draw upon. Even these mid-century filmmakers themselves incorporated archival material to amplify their production values. Stock footage allowed people with big visions to bring them to the screen, even with a small budget. Stock music, too, was frequently recycled. Media could be resurrected each time it passed into a new creator's hands.
My favorite public domain film. That is really hard to pick just one. It's like picking your favorite children. One of them has to be House on Haunted Hill.
Gauntlet joined a long tradition of horror hosts.
It's kind of like Elvira, where you show a public domain film, but you also interject it with certain skits, songs, things like that. Just kind of add your own unique spin and flavor to it.
I wasn't even the only horror host at FPA, which opened the door to some Crypt Dweller crossovers.
I called in an expert to help.
An exorcist?
Oh, better. Oh, doorbell.
Why, hello, Princeton.
Oh!
The gimmick behind my character is part Vincent Price, hence the pun, and part Mr. Rogers. It's a cuddly, cozy kind of horror.
Well, I'm grateful not only for your goosebumps, but for your interest in our kind of communication.
I want to, if I can, try to do every single episode something creative.
Cooking Price-Wise by Vincent Price.
Let's do some cooking, let's do some crafting or some painting. Am I necessarily good at all those things? No, but it's a heck of a lot of fun to just say, go out there and do it.
Eat, drink, and be scary, for tomorrow we die.
My show consistently kept me trying new things creatively. It also gave me an excuse to pursue hobbies I already enjoyed, such as cooking monstrous menu items, making beautiful music, and traveling to horror landmarks such as Roswell,
Play it again, Zargalon.
Sleepy Hollow, and Salem.
Keeping it real, it's Salem Public Access. What do you think, Cograt?
In all, it was a chance to pursue my passions and provided a social space to create with my friends.
That's the stuff. Oh, what does it feel like?
This is the opportunity Public Access provides to all its producers. A chance to exercise their media savvy and engage with members of their community.
I look at this place as a laboratory, and for $26 a year, you can come in and cook up a lot of stuff.
And this is a good family activity to do as well with your kids and other family members. And you will have your kitchen smelling gloriously as well.
Join up, shadow people, volunteer, take some classes, and then once you do, you get certified, take it out into the wild and just go shoot something or put together a crew.
Whether you're doing something on film or finances, it's a good chance to actually make something, to create something. Art and creativity shouldn't be behind a paywall. It should be open to everybody. And I think whether it's going to be on a big scale or a small scale, that just has ripples. That can change people's lives.
However, as technology continues to evolve, the role Public Access plays in the community is changing.
Years and years ago, this was fabulous, but in recent years, because of YouTube and using your cell phone and having all the equipment you could want, so much less expensive, very few people come here anymore.
I don't know how many people even watch Channel 10. Anyone in the arts likes to get feedback, and that's what's good about YouTube. You do get feedback.
But now that every one of us is our own personal TV station, are we missing out on interpersonal connection?
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
If Public Access has a future, it lies in fostering community engagement.
It's about neighborhoods and characters and geography and things like that.
After wrapping my 9th Halloween special, I felt it was time for a Gauntly hiatus. I stepped away in part due to COVID restrictions that limited what I could do on the set.
We are going to do some socially distant Greco-Roman wrestling.
But primarily, I wanted to explore other means of producing media that would expand my network socially and professionally.
Salutations, travelers, and welcome to Can That Really Work? I am thy host, Sir Science. In all, I produced 100 episodes of Count Gauntly's Horrors from the Public Domain between 2013 and 2021. I'm proud of what I was able to accomplish on the show, and remember my time at FPA with gratitude.
The most effective media engages with one's community, so keep your eyes and ears open for new perspectives. And whatever platform you use, if you have a vision, find a way to share it.